Hello everybody and welcome to week 5 of my 6-week yoga course. It's Emma from Balance Works Yoga. I hope you're well today. We have got a practice that's going to be great for our backs today. So a nice stretch out of our backs, but also some strengthening stuff as well. We're going to start on our backs. So get comfortable on your yoga mat and have a nice stretch out. Check in with how you are feeling today. So begin to take some deeper breaths. Using the inhale to expand and the exhale to melt into the mat. Nice long breaths. You might want your knees bent or legs long, whatever's comfortable. Maybe your feet wide and your knees touching. Allow your arms to relax. So sequence for a kind of all over body sequence, but really looking after our backs today and paying attention to our backs, because obviously that is the main part of our body that holds us up and connects all the parts. So very important. Along with our backs, our core and our abdominal muscles are very important. So we'll be making sure they get some attention as well, because obviously they work in pairs. Strong core equals strong back. Okay, so let's really come to the breath. Nice deep inhale through the nose, exhale either through the mouth or the nose. Beginning to send awareness through the body, just checking in with how you're feeling physically. Any areas to be aware of? Any aches or pains? Obviously during this time you can make any movements you like if you wanted to be having any stretches, or you can just find stillness. How are you feeling emotionally? And whatever that is, it's all good. Just whatever you come with today in your body and your mind. Remember, this is time for you. I love the expression, the yoga mat has your back, which it literally does, but also metaphorically. Your yoga practice, if you like, has your back, supports you, embraces everything that you have, everything that you are. So just taking time today to slow things down a bit. Nice, calm, strong, mindful movements. Getting back in touch with ourselves. Going to begin some Dirga Pranayama, which is a full yogic breath. So we're going to bring our hands to our belly. Take a big, deep inhale. Expanding the belly if you can. And then exhale, really feel it deflating again like a balloon. Maybe your elbows are wide and your hands resting on your belly. You really aim to relax in this area with a big full breath. Seeing how much your hands can expand, and exhale. See if your back just softens and melts into the mat a little bit further. One more. Maybe your arms and shoulders relax as well with the exhale. Then slide your hands up to your rib cage. Maybe bring your thumbs around your back and the fingertips on the front of your ribs, and take another deep inhale. Feel your belly expand and maybe your rib cage as well. And exhale, nice and long. And again, inhale. Belly, ribs, and exhale. Feel it all deflate again. One more, inhale. Feel the belly and the ribs, and exhale. Full yogic breath, meaning we're really expanding. We're going nice and deep, going to our full capacity. This is the big one. We're going from our bellies to our rib cage and then to our chests. And maybe put your hand, on your chest, your collarbone. And on the next inhale, we're going to take a big inhale into our bellies, your ribs. Then finally, maybe your chest and collarbone. And exhale in reverse. Squeezing the air out. One more, off we go. Inhale, bellies, ribs, upper chest. See how much you can expand. And exhale. Relax the hands and arms and just hopefully feel a bit more relaxed, soft, not gripping in so many areas. Going to take a nice big full body stretch now. So bring the arms up and over the top of your head, reaching behind you. Extend one leg and then the other, and just try and reach as long as you can. Oops, no, that's not my dog. That's the dog bed. Point the toes, point the fingers, and then push the heels away. Maybe clasp, interlace the fingers, and just create length. Maybe push one heel away and feel the opposite hip rise up a bit, and then the opposite way around, push the other heel away. You can feel the side stretch. And then just bring the elbows wide and cactus the arms down, allowing the shoulders to nestle into the ground. We're going to hug our right knee in first of all, have a little ankle rotation. Your other leg can either be long or it can be bent here, whatever feels good. Really checking in, spreading the toes. Don't worry for clicks. You know, my right ankle always clicks by now. And then slide the hands behind the right thigh. Extend the leg up to the ceiling. Wherever it wants to go is fine. You can hold wherever feels good. Maybe a little rock here. Push the heel away, get an even deeper stretch. Pointing the toes sort of down towards your head, that direction. And then rebend and bring the right ankle to the left thigh. That might be enough of a stretch, a figure of four stretch here. Or you might want to slide your hands through behind your left thigh, interlacing the fingers and hugging that in. Again, finding a little rock here if you like, if that feels good on your lower back. Lots of back attention today. And maybe option to extend the left leg as well. So find the depth of stretch that feels okay for you today. Just enjoying the feeling of really nestling your back into the floor. Okay, we're going to just release the hands and bring the left foot back to the floor. The right leg is still in a figure of four position. Just going to rock the hips from side to side here, and then allow the left foot just to start to go towards the floor, just tipping down towards, so we get a little bit of a stretch here, so you can see here. So I'll just shuffle to the other side of the mat. So bringing the right foot to the mat, keeping them in a figure of four position. But if that doesn't feel good, just unhook and stack the feet, the ankles instead. Just feeling a bit of a side stretch here, but make any adjustments, trying to make sure your shoulder blades are still on the ground for a deeper stretch. Take a big inhale here, expand, and exhale. And then rock the hips back up to center. Going to hug in the left knee this time. Add some ankle rotations, spread the toes, nestle those shoulders into the ground, and slide the hands behind the left thigh, extend the left foot, the left leg up the ceiling. Again, little rock if it feels good. Nestling the shoulders back into the ground, checking your neck is nice and relaxed. Just enjoying this time to check in. Bend the left knee and then slide the left ankle to the right thigh. You can either stay here in figure four position, or you can slide the hands behind the right thigh, hugging that knee in a little bit here and having a little rock if it feels good. Option to extend the right leg as well up to the ceiling. to intensify the stretch, but one side might be better than the other. Just check in. No need to go to the max. Just this is time to nourish your body today, really checking in, connecting with all the feelings, the sensations, and definitely the breath. Okay, just release slowly. Bring the right foot back down to the mat, but we're going to just bring our hands down to the mat and just anchor ourselves down as we rock our hips side to side. Making any adjustments in our shoulders just to make sure we're nestled down. And then as we rock to the right side, just seeing if our left foot will come down to the right foot, right floor, the right side. That makes sense. You can always have a block, by the way. I've got a block here, so if you prefer your foot to land on a block, if it doesn't go all the way down to the floor, or you can unhook and just have the legs stacked on top of each other, just getting this side body twist. Press down with the hands and the shoulders. You might want to turn the head in the opposite direction. It's up to you. Wherever you are, just take a deep breath through your side body. Belly, ribs, chest again, and exhale. Rock the knees back up to center. Have another little hug in again. And you can either rock onto one side or slide your hands behind your knees and have a little rock backwards and forwards if that feels good on your back. And come up to a seated position. We will be coming onto all fours into tabletop. So get yourself there nice and gently. No hurry with these movements. Just have a little tuck in here. And once you're there, again, just checking in with this new foundation, spreading the fingertips, pushing down with the tops of the feet, anything that's touching the ground. And we're just going to make sure our joints are stacked, our hips over our knees, our shoulders over our wrists, and just going to find a little bit of cat-cow. So we're going to inhale, drop the belly, allow the tailbone to lift, maybe the chest. Exhale, round the back, squeeze the air out to allow the head to come down, the tailbone to tuck. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, draw the belly in. You just find your way with cat-cow and whatever feels good. If you prefer to have a little rotation with the hips as well, or a little bit of backwards and forwards with it, this is time to check in with your spine, your back, your shoulders, and do whatever feels good. Listen to your body at this point. Awesome. Okay, back to a neutral spine, roughly, just drawing the navel in a little bit here. Going to bump the hips to the left side of our mat and look over our right shoulder, so we get a little side body stretch. And then send the hips over to the right side of the mat and look over our left shoulder towards our feet or thereabouts. Take a big inhale. And back to center. I'm just going to walk forward slightly here. Going to extend the left foot behind. Feel a nice stretch down back of our left leg. And we're going to go into a little bit of a bird dog movement, so you can either keep the toes down or lift them up. Just draw the navel in a little bit here so we're not sinking down with the back too much. And we're going to exhale and draw the knee in, maybe round the back a little bit. Exhale, extend. Option to add the opposite arm in, so the right arm in, making sure you're nice and stable in that supported hand. And exhale, draw in, inhale, extend. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, nice and long. Trying to draw the navel in, nice and active in the core and the back. It's awesome for the back, this one. Or you don't have to do the hand if you don't want to. And And then bring the left toes back down, the hand back down. Keep the leg extended for a moment because we're going to send the toes out to the side. There you go, that way. And ground down through the right hand, lift the left arm up and just come into a nice open side stretch. Inhale, roll the shoulder back, open, open, reach with the fingertips. And exhale, we're going to bring the hand down and just thread slightly under the right arm. Don't have to go too low. We're going to inhale and come up again. Inhale, up. Exhale, thread, get a little twist. One more. Inhale, up. Exhale, thread. Slide the arm, maybe slide the right hand, and just come down as far as it's comfortable. Really use the exhale here. You can always use the block or a cushion or anything you've got to hand to rest your hand, your head on. Deep breaths here. One more. And slide the right hand underneath the shoulder and bring the left arm back out and bring the left leg in. Coming back to a tabletop position, we'll go again on the other side. So right leg back, let's just push the heel away and find a nice stretch down the back leg. Draw the navel in so we're not sinking down. That's often a command you'll hear a lot today, especially when we're trying to support our lower back. Okay, option here to lift the back toes off the mat and the opposite arm if you prefer, the left fingertips reaching out in front of you, and exhale, draw the knee to elbow. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, knee to elbow. Really spread the fingertips on the supported hand, the right hand. Exhale, go at your own pace. If you're feeling any too much pressure in a shoulder, you could always just keep both hands back on, or even come down to like forearms for this if your wrists are going. One more. Okay, this time bring the toes back to the mat, but legs still extended. We're going to sweep the right toes out to the side, ground down through the left hand and lift the right arm up and reach. Really big stretch here, maybe a little wrist rotation, just to relieve a bit of pressure here. Big reach on the inhale, and exhale, thread the arm underneath, finding a little thread before we come up for an inhale again. Exhale, bring it through and lower down. One more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, thread through. See if you want to lower here. Bring your head to the mat, extending the left arm if that feels good to the top of the mat, or using a block or a cushion. Drawing the navel in here and just really beginning to try and relax the upper body. Noticing all the sensations through the body in this big twist. One more breath. Then slide the left arm underneath the shoulder, draw back in the right hand and the right leg. And we're just going to come back onto our knees and give ourselves a little shoulder roll. Just shake things out a moment here. Maybe bring the arms open and we'll wrap the right arm over the left, finding a really nice hug position where we can just stretch the upper back. Maybe just sink down a little bit here and round the back and cocoon ourselves for a moment, allowing the back body to stretch, including the neck, if you allow the head to bow slightly. Inhale, open up again, really open, 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 and exhale, left arm over the right, self-hug. So we're trying to go through the opposites, the open of the front body and the squeezing of the back body, and the rounding of the back body, the stretching and the squeezing of the front body. So getting the two together is just where we're heading. Okay, release. That's where we get the strength and the stretch and a good balance of both. Okay, so we will be coming up into a standing position. So we're going to go through a downward dog first. Spread the fingertips, get a nice foundation. Tuck the toes. Really engage the core and just see if you can lift the knees off the ground and just hover them off the ground for a moment before sending the hips backwards, keeping the knees nice and bent and just coming into a low downward dog. Maybe extend one leg and then the other, begin to pedal the legs. Sometimes slow is more, less is more, whatever the phrase is, but just slowing things down. Even if you're quite experienced in yoga, it's a great thing to do. You get the calming signals sent around the body, soothing the nervous system, just what it needs to be able to work well and send good signals to the rest of the body. And therefore, hopefully decreasing the amount of somatic issues such as headaches, stress, stomach pains, fatigue, all sorts of things that stem from being too busy, doing too much. So slowing things down is never a waste of time. Look forward to your hands. We're going to tiptoe our toes all the way to our hands and just find a fold. Again, enjoy it. Just bend the knees, maybe hold on to the elbows here and have a little sway. Just relax, let go of any tension in the upper body. Let go of worrying if things look right, if you're doing everything perfectly, which our bodies tend to, and our brains tend to be a bit occupied with, but you've got to try and let that go, like we've done in previous weeks, and not trying to be perfect. Just really tuning in with our bodies and trying to tap into our true, authentic voices. Exhale. Bend the knees, bring the belly to the thighs a little bit closer. And then relax the arms, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, and just begin to slowly roll up. Nice, checking in with that back, like you're uncurling like a plant growing up. And then off the end, the shoulders, maybe bring the arms up if you want a big stretch. And exhale, bring the hands back down. So taking our inspiration from nature and the way that we move can be a great thing. T-shirt does not want to stay tucked in today, which is fine. Let's just release the arms. Just have a little bit of a rock here, whatever you need to do. And take a moment to tend to our feet, a little bit of foot yoga. Now they're in a new position. Whenever we get to standing, just check in and check we're spreading out with all four corners of our feet. So there's all sorts of things you can do to strengthen the muscles in your feet. You can come up and down, maybe hold on your tippy toes, on the metatarsals, those are the balls of your feet if you like. Maybe not the tippy toes, we're not in ballet. And if you wobble, that's fine. Just really coming up and down. If that's too much, then maybe just one at a time, just really feeling through the muscles in the feet, the toes. If you want more, maybe coming up onto your balls of your feet and then bending at the knees and coming into almost like a chair but on our toes. So adding whatever challenge feels good for you, but whenever you get the opportunity, you're in the kitchen waiting for something to boil, I don't know, just do a bit of toe yoga in a queue. Doesn't matter what you look like, it's all good. Okay. Right then, so we will be coming back into a Warrior One shortly, but you know I like a little balance challenge first by now. So it's up to you if you want to take your time and just step back into a Warrior One with our pelvis facing the short end of the mat. You can do that, or we can have a little go through a dancer pose. Now dancer pose, instead of going straight into like a Warrior Three, similar in the way that we are tipping forwards and sending our leg backwards, but we're going to have a go at holding onto our foot and coming into it gradually. It's always good if you've got a wall or something to hold on to, that's quite useful. So if you've got a wall, go ahead and use the wall to begin with, unless you've got your balance is super great today. So it's up to you, you choose. So you can either, if you can already touch your foot and hold it in, almost like you're doing that hamstring stretch, quad stretch, sorry, if you've been running or walking a lot. So see if you can get your balance here first. And then it's just, if you can't, then you can always use a strap or use the cord from a dressing gown, I don't know, anything that can go around your foot if you can't quite grab it. And then send your right arm forwards and just see if you can begin to tip, lifting with your left hand, that left foot up, and just seeing where you come to. Again, holding on if you want to come a little bit deeper, but you want to change with your balance. Soft supporting knee, but really spreading down with those right toes. Seeing where your balance is, getting a nice focal point. Drawing the navel in a little bit here. Whenever you've had enough, you can always come back down again. There is always the option, we'll do dancer's pose a bit more another time, but there is also the option, once you've got it, in taking your opposite hand, your right hand to your left foot, and going in the other direction, and just seeing where we come to. Sometimes it helps square your hips a bit more as well. Play around with it, have a little play for a moment or two, and whenever you have had enough, we will step back into Warrior One. Pelvis facing the top of the mat. Same as the hips. Imagine somebody's got headlights on your hips and they're facing that way. Inhale, let's lift the arms up and have a nice stretch. Really bedding down with your 2 feet, and exhale, cactus the arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Inhale, let's reach forward, lean forwards, lift the hands up like you're reaching up a beach ball into the air. Exhale, cactus the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades. This time, catch your lower back, or maybe interlace the fingers behind and squeeze the shoulders wherever your hands are. Bend in that front knee like we had before, nice strong back leg. I'm going to hinge from the hip. So inhale, lift the chest, exhale, hinge from the hip. Maybe draw the hands back down your back a little bit further. Inhale, nice and long, gaze at the mat. Exhale, beginning to come down into a humble warrior. Do it nice and incrementally. Inhale, lengthen, squeeze the shoulders. Exhale, see how low you can come. Maybe drawing the hands up. Using that breath, the exhale, coming into humble warrior. Lovely, you feel nice and relaxed up top. Exhale, release the left fingertips to the ground, but leave the right hand behind you. We're going to draw a line with those left fingertips, forwards, up, reaching the top of the mat, coming upwards, spiraling behind you, allowing the right arm to follow like a windmill. Okay, coming into reverse warrior. So the right arm now lifts up and the left arm has come back down behind you. Inhale, reach here. Exhale, we're going to windmill the arms again. When we say windmill, we're trying to keep them at some kind of a T shape, if you like, but keep them going over. So the right hand comes down, the left hand comes forwards and down to a humble warrior position. Inhale up. Find your breath here. Spiral the arms. Enjoy the movement. Exhale, come down. Left arm can come down, the fingertips to the mat, and the right arm's behind you. But find whatever feels good. So if you're doing something completely different, it's all right. Exhale. Inhale. Just allow the arms to feel nice and organic. Exhale. Next time you're down and your left fingertips on the floor, you can bring both hands down to the ground. We're going to walk our hands around the side of the mat and walk our heels in a bit. So we've come into like a wide forward fold position. You could always use the block here if you're not comfortable folding down so much. Okay, fingertips to a block or the floor. And just exhale, try and soften here, maybe have a little sway. You can have a little bend in your knees if that feels good, or you can hold onto your elbows. Trying to lengthen the back, lengthen the neck as part of the back. Big exhales here. Trying to soften whichever height you're at. Okay, bring the fingertips down to the mat or the floor. Going to heel toe our feet in, coming to a standard forward fold. Bend the knees generously here. Inhale, going to tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin. Slowly roll up to standing. Inhale up. Exhale, bring the hands together, prayer position. And just take a breath. Awesome. We're going to do the same on the other side. So this time doing the option to go into dancer with the right foot going back this time. So you can either, if you can, take hold of the foot just by reaching backwards. If not, as I said, if you can just maybe take your leggings, like, or joggers or whatever you've got there to hold on to, that's another option. Or some people like to come hug their knee in first, slide the hand down the ankle and come in that way. So or as I said, use the wall to help you get there, so you're not contorting yourself and sticking your hips out and going all wobbly. Okay, trying to keep the hips square. All right, off we go. So it's your choice if you take it with your right foot with your right hand, or maybe with your left hand. You choose. Play around with what feels okay. Really lifting up, grounding down through that left foot. Coming out of it if you want to start again, or try the other hand. Seeing how low you can come without wobbling. Don't worry if you do wobble. Draw the navel in a little bit here, and then come up and step back with the right foot, coming into warrior one. Bend in the front knee, back leg and back foot 45 degrees. Inhale, let's lift the arms up. Big breath in. Exhale, cactus the arms, squeeze the shoulders, open the chest. Inhale, reach forwards and down and imagine you're picking up a beach ball. Inhale, up, 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 up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Exhale. Catch the lower back with your hands or interlace the fingertips. Draw the shoulders back, roll, squeeze the shoulders, bend in the front knee. Take an inhale here. Exhale, hinge at the hip. Inhale, lengthen the back, draw the navel in, tuck the chin. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower until you feel you're as low as you can go here. Hands either on your lower back, your hips, or interlaced. Spreading out with all four corners of your feet until you can release the right hand to the mat. We're going to trace the fingers forwards to the top of the mat, reaching forwards and coming upwards, lifting up with that right hand guiding us until we can spiral it all the way behind us, allowing the left arm to take over, coming up into reverse warrior. Inhale, lift. Exhale, we're going to windmill back the other way. Let those arms spiral around like a windmill until your right hand fingertips touch the ground, the left arms can come up. Inhale up. Again, finding your flow. Exhale, spiral. Get a little twist. Inhale up. Exhale. Spiral till the right fingertips touch the ground. One more inhale. I like to look at my right hand as it comes up and then taking over with the left. But if you feel dizzy or anything, just keep your gaze wherever it feels good. Next time you're down, leave your right fingertips to the floor. Bring both fingertips to the floor here and walk your hands to the right side of the mat and come to a wide leg forward fold. I am going to face you, so I'm not just shining my booty in your face. So fingertips to the ground and just find your wide leg fold. You might want to just have a little rock here. You might want to be on a block or holding on to anything, a chair. A little bend in the knees if you like, a little sway. Use the exhale to see if you can maybe bring your fingertips a little bit deeper, or even hold onto your elbows and really get an extra stretch down our shoulders. Use the exhale. do too much inhale, 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 and short breaths in normal daily life. We don't take deep, long exhales, just letting everything spill out, slowing things down. Okay, reach down your fingertips to the floor. We're going to walk our heel to our feet in slightly, and then option here, just to bend at the knees and just find a little bit of a yogi squat, bending, seeing where you come to, having a little rock from side to side, easing ourselves in, depending on what height you come to. You might still be upright here, that's fine. We'll be lowering down to the ground shortly. But if you do find whatever squat, maybe seeing if you can hold it for a moment, either hands to a block or squeeze the elbows against the knees and find a little balance here, trying to be upright. It's always good to add a little squat into your practice wherever you can. But if you are high, that's fine. We're going to be coming down to the mat, so you can either come down to your knees first or lower yourself down to your bottoms. We will just come into a nice child's pose here. Wide knees, toes together, sink down. Deep breaths. You know all the options in child's pose. You can either extend with the arms, you can draw them back, you can use them as a pillow, you can use a block as a pillow, or even make two fists if that feels good and you don't have a block. Anything that gets you to the right height that enables you to relax your upper body and take some deep, deep breaths here. Great if you can connect your forehead to something, whether it is a block or a pillow or a bolster, even if it's up this high. Whatever height you're at. Some people think of the forehead, the space between your eyes, the third eye, and a place of intuition, a place of where you can really maybe see your true self or find your true self, find your authentic self. So as you sit here and take some deep breaths, just see if you can tap into whatever that means to you, that true self. And just listen to anything your body, your mind is trying to tell you. As you take deep breaths, and just tap into the third eye. What does your true self say? What does it think of everything that you're doing? Is it authentic? True to yourself? As you inhale, really expand your body long ways and width ways. Exhale. Melt. Okay, slide the hands under your shoulders and ease yourself back up to a kneeling position for a moment. A little shoulder roll here. Maybe slide the fingertips backwards. Find the floor behind you and open up the chest here. Have a nice stretch. A nice counter pose to a child's pose. If you're not comfortable with this, you can always be sort of sitting on a block if that's better. Okay, we are going to come forwards now. No, we're not. We're going to come into a down dog first. Then we'll be coming down to our bellies. So spread the fingertips, tuck the toes, draw the navel in, press down with the hands, lift the knees up, send the hips backwards, bend the knees as much as you need, stretch out the back, long back. If you feel yourself rounding here, really try and draw the hips down, back a bit further, bend the knees a little bit more. Imagine your belly coming to your thighs. Maybe your rib cage coming to your thighs. As we exhale and lengthen, do a little yes and no with the head to check you're not holding tension there. Just going to make sure, maybe slide the hands a little bit further away, and we're going to round the back here and come forwards, bring our weight over our hands. We're coming into almost like a plank position, and then we're going to come back into a down dog. Walk the hands slightly further away. This might help you getting into a plank. So up on your toes, round the back, bring the weight over your hands and see if you can come into a plank, and then exhale back into a down dog. Just a little movement here to get that little spinal flexion, but also really strengthening in the shoulders. If you're not comfortable coming into plank, come into half plank and allow your knees to come down. So wherever you are, find a plank, half or full, spread the fingertips, grip the mat with your fingertips, and then exhale, bend the elbows, hugging the elbows in and come down to your bellies. Slide your hands under, create a pillow here, and rock the hips from side to side. Going to lift our chest slightly here and slide our hands in and hug the elbows in a little bit here, so grasshopper legs if you like. And just again checking in with your lower back to check you're not really straining here. Press down with your lower body, your tops of your feet, your legs, your pelvis, and that'll help take the strain off your back. And see if you can lift the chest here. Lift the chest off the mat. You can keep your head central if you want, just gazing at your mat. And see if you can lift the chest slightly here, squeezing the shoulder blades, but also lift your hands off the mat so they're not doing all the work here. You're just activating your core and seeing if you can lift your fingertips off the mat, drawing the shoulders in, pushing down with your lower body, and take your hands out wide, take them out behind you. See if you can get to your lower back and either hold on here, or you might be able to interlace your fingertips and just draw your shoulders back and just come into a little locust position. So sending the fingertips backwards. Maybe the toes come off the mat, maybe they don't. Just checking in and really pressing down with your pelvis. One more breath, squeezing the shoulders, little locust pose, and exhale. We're going to melt down and bring our right cheek to the mat. Have a little rock of the hips. Release everything in the back. And exhale. Remember, the breath is so key to you being able to relax the muscles. Going to go one more time. We're going to come, bring our head central now. So we're gazing at the mat. Maybe your nose is on your mat or your chin on your mat. We're going, the arms are backwards at the moment, which is great. Fingertips facing the bottom of the mat. And we're going to ground to the tops of our feet and our pelvis. I'm going to lift the chest slightly here and draw the shoulders back. Lift the fingertips and send them backwards, squeezing, just seeing if you can squeeze the shoulders, coming up into a bit of a locust. Option to add the toes coming off the ground here as well, gazing at the floor. Long body, long neck. Squeeze the back body. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep the head kind of low, long neck, gazing at the ground. One more breath. Lovely, and exhale. We'll release down and bring our left cheek to the mat and just rock things out. That's where I look at all the cobwebs that are underneath my chest of drawers here. Little home for the spiders. Not sure if you can hear me because of the microphone, but right, we are going to now come up to a Sphinx pose. So Sphinx pose on our forearms. If that feels okay in your back, if it doesn't, then come down a bit lower. From Sphinx, slide the knee, your left knee, up the mat and come to a sort of 90-degree angle, where it wants to come to, just bending at the knee, sliding along the floor, and coming into this like frog's leg position, but just with one leg, trying to keep both hips on the ground. So if it needs to come, just extend a bit more, that's fine. And then inhale, lift the left elbow off the ground slightly and just thread the right hand underneath, lowering down on the exhale, maybe extending the left hand out just to get into our thread the needle position. Slide the left hand on top of the right hand, and then see if you can roll onto your back, opening up with your left arm, up, 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 and just seeing where you come to here, opening up. It might just be here. You might come all the way onto your back. Don't worry if this knee lifts up, just let it go where it needs to go to. So you might be halfway and you might want to relax your hand down to your hips or waist or rib cage, or you might come all the way. Just find the twist that feels good for you. Big breath. One more. And then we're going to close the book, our hands back down and roll back onto our bellies and unthread, bring the left knee down and come back to Sphinx. Oh, interruption. Okay, sorry about all the interruptions this morning. Back into Sphinx, and then we're going to go on the other side. So we're going to bend the right knee, sliding it up to create this frog's leg position with the other leg. Lift up the right elbow slightly and thread the left hand underneath. Just beginning to ease yourself down onto your left shoulder. Maybe adjust the hips here. Come down into this thread the needle position. Option, you can either stay here or you can slide the right hand on top of the left and begin to open up the right hand, bringing it up and over the top of you, maybe opening all the way out, finding a twist on your back, and you might have both shoulder blades coming to the ground. You might want to lower your right hand down to your waist and find whatever stretch feels good here. Twist in the back. Big breath. One more. And then we can bring the right hand back down, rolling back onto our tummies. Lower the right leg, extend it down. And we're going to push our way back into a child's pose. So tuck the toes, draw the navel in, and gently encourage your way back to a child's pose. Again, find a comfortable position. Take some big breaths. Expanding the back body. And use the exhale to melt down. Letting go of anything, any tension, anything that's bothering you, weighing you down. Let go of it now. Slide the hands under your shoulders and roll up to a kneeling position. Going to just come onto our bottoms here as we begin to slow down. So coming back onto our bottoms, just going to slide our hands behind our knees and come into a little boat to finish with. So we're going to draw the shoulders back, hug, lift our chest and hug our knees in a little bit here, squeezing the shoulders and just tilt back until maybe one foot comes off the ground, maybe the other one. See if you want to stay here, or you can have feet staying on the ground until you're activating your core. Engage. Maybe the feet come up, maybe you want to let go of the hands, or maybe you want the support of the earth behind you. Find the variation, really activate your abdominals, draw the shoulders back. One more breath. And then bring our hands down and shuffle your hips down the mat, lower yourself down to your back. Keep your knees bent here. We'll do one bridge before we finish. Really good stretch out for the back and the front body. So draw the heels towards the glutes. Press down with the palms of your hands down into the mat. And keeping the hips and knees and feet in line with each other. Just going to inhale and just begin to curl up the tailbone. Then the lower back, maybe the middle back. Just see what feels good for you today. Taking a big inhale, seeing how high you want to come. If your middle back or upper back is off the mat, you might want to shuffle your shoulders underneath and find a bit more height. Squeeze the shoulders, maybe interlace the fingers underneath you or press the palms down. Inhale, expand the belly. And as we exhale, we'll come down and just release the shoulders, lower our backs down gently, vertebrae by vertebrae, creating a nice length in the back. Nice little massage. Have a little rock of your knees from side to side. Maybe hug the knees in here. Just lengthening the back. Letting the neck just tap into the feeling as well. Coming back to where we started, just lying on the back, lying on our backs, nestling into the mat, remembering that the yoga mat has our back. Maybe hold onto your knees here, your kneecaps, lengthen your arms and just let your legs dangle. Be heavy. Draw your shoulders back. So you've got long arms. And then just let your feet gently plop down to the ground. 1, 2. Relax the arms. And you can either stay here with bent knees, bring your feet wide and let your knees touch, or you can extend one leg and the other. Just look after your back, check in with your back as you make these movements. Make any adjustments, add cushions, blankets, whatever you need for the end of your practice as you really come back to your breath again and relax into the mat. So deep breaths. Maybe you want to come back to the full yogic breath or tap into your favorite breathing technique. Trying not to skip this precious time in your day. I have a few words to guide you at the end, so stay relaxed, eyes closed. And when you are ready, go into this week with the attitude that your peace, your health of mind and your heart mean more than getting everything else done. That your smile matters, that feeling rested matters, that holding the hands of your loved ones matter. So pause lots, function at a pace that doesn't pull you apart. Honor the things that make you feel good inside, the things that make you feel alive. Give time to those things this week. Make time the gift it is by giving it to what really matters to you. Stay in Shavasana for as long as you like. Namaste.